What is up, DTube Steam blockchain? So today I want to talk about should Google, Facebook, and Twitter be regulated as utilities? So this is a very interesting topic because I'm fairly sure that this is what they did with the phone companies back in the days. I think there was something called Ma Bell that they did broke up in more sections. So this is really fascinating. So utilities, should these companies be regulated as utilities? This is a very fascinating topic. So let's talk a little bit about that. So what do these companies have in common? Well, Facebook is making, I think they're gonna make $80 billion this year from their users. Their year-on-year growth is, I think, around 20 to 30%. And the users, like the consumers, they're not getting any of that. And Facebook basically have a monopoly on communicating with like friends and family in many ways. And you can say this funny thing like if Facebook don't like you, do you even exist? It's a good question because I think people spend 30% of their time now on the internet. So do you even exist if Facebook don't like you? Who knows? Google, I'm not really sure exactly how much they're making, but they're making pretty good. And they have monopoly on search, what people see. And it's like, it gets kind of interesting there. Twitter also making probably a lot of money on top of its users. They're not getting anything. And they also sort of controlling what you're seeing. And it's not transparent what code they're using, exactly how it works. Is kind of strange. So should these companies be regulated as utilities? It becomes very interesting. So for example, I mean, what Steamians have sort of realized is, well, probably the ideal thing is eventually to go to decentralized systems and use some token like the Steam token. But we also know that in the real world, like it's very interesting with capitalism and private companies, and what kind of role they play compared to a government. And the government is supposed to regulate something so they do not get out of hand. For example, if you just throw people to the beast, and they have like limitless money, limitless power, what kind of role does the consumer play in that? Because they have so much money, so they can basically buy anyone off, and they don't have to explain if they like ban a person. They don't really have to explain why they're doing it because they can come with the term, oh, we are a private company, we can sort of do whatever we want. And that's kind of strange. It becomes kind of strange when you start to have these massive, like, it's a one thing when it's a small company, but when they get huge, when they get massive, uh it becomes super strange. It becomes super strange, for example, to not share profits with the regular consumers. It becomes weird to not have phone support. That's super strange. And maybe governments, like local governments, has allowed these companies to grow a bit too large, and then they don't really know what to do with them, right? So it's just it's probably more interesting that people, I see that people sort of starting to consider, they're starting to become more aware of these potential issues. For example, we know that Twitter they're putting some people on like a team. They're gonna look into, oh, maybe we can decentralize something or whatever. It's gonna be interesting to see what they're doing there, but it seems like they're just putting like maybe they put 1% or half a percent of energy into that. Facebook, yeah, they're trying to do some currency thing, but they still sort of want to have it control, kind of like, oh yeah, we're still gonna do the KYC thing. Um, which is also kind of strange again, because it's like, is that really protecting the user in this crazy world where a lot of crazy stuff happens? It's like, should you really have access to that level of data? Do you really need it? Like, if a person is used like doing regular day-to-day stuff that they're doing already right now on Facebook, Twitter, maybe Instagram or something like that, if they're just doing regular day-to-day thing, why do you need their KYC data? That is super strange. That's kind of shady, right? It is kind of shady, and a lot of ways how data works now on the internet is really, really shady. Like the data tracking things, the scandals, and it seems like the only way to get some balance to all of this is first you need the government to sort of update how they're doing things, and they really need to look at things as well. Like first of all, it's super weird in most countries how you don't have a digital currency, digital token or anything like that, and that there has been no investments of time and energy into that field. Because if you really start to dive deeper into that, you see that that is kind of connected to a lot of other things. uh how people are connecting, how people are networking with each other. I mean, this is such a big thing, right? For example, one thing you have with Facebook is you have like a limit on how many people you can talk to, and it gets kind of weird. Like, it gets kind of weird because we do not have that limit in the real world. Like, there's nobody that comes up to you and say, oh, you talked to too many people today. But on the internet you kind of have those things, and you also have no privacy on the internet. Like, there is like there really is no privacy. uh you don't have the same kind of rights on the internet as you have in the real world, which is kind of weird. Like, for example, if you get an email, someone can already read it before you can read it. Like, Google can read it, and they can even sell you ads on that. It's super weird. It's super weird. It should be way more transparent. And yeah, these systems just needs to get updated, right? uh and humans really haven't paid any attention to it. So do these companies need to be regulated as utilities, where they probably would be split up then into more sections in different regions, because they really are utilities, right? Like, they're huge utilities, and it seems like you need this like local, you should have this local infrastructure, instead of just having this weird kind of structure where these companies can just, they can like harvest everyone else's time and energy, and people are not earning anything. Like, there's some people doing it a little bit, but even them probably don't have a digital currency, and it's like they can't share that value easy with other people. Yeah, I mean, this is stuff that people really have to start to consider, because you really have systems where these companies are just making hundreds of billions every year and not really distributing any of that, and it's not really transparent where all this money is going. you know it's yeah, it's interesting, and it's not black and white, because I know that Google, they're doing a lot of amazing stuff, and they've tried to make their own social media and stuff like that. A lot of failures. uh, uh, Facebook trying to do the currency thing, Twitter trying a little bit with the decentralized thing, but they're not trying hard enough. If they're making billions on like regular people, they should be doing way better. Like, they should be more responsible. like for how they are running things, because it's them that are making all the money, they are making all the profits, so they can influence things for the better more. um so yeah, like it's fascinating to follow this industry and see how it runs. And we know in the EU that, yeah, they can give some fines to these big companies, but it's really not enough. Like it doesn't really make any real difference, right? So yeah, they're getting huge. They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and in some ways, people just get less and less choice. And is that really what we want? You know, no. It's weird. So it's nice. We're getting better technology, so people that really do a conscious choice can use something like Steam, and that's nice. They can use something like YouTube. It's nice, but more needs to happen. More better stuff needs to happen, and a better understanding of new technology also needs to happen. So we need a lot of people to educate other people about how we have better stuff now that we can use instead. Mm, so yeah, as I say, it's not black and white, but I think more people are gonna start to consider this. Like, do these companies need to be regulated as utilities? What are they really doing? How is their algo running? All of this, like, it's fun to talk about. So yeah, that's what I want to talk a little bit about in this video. Have a great day, YouTube and Steam blockchain. Bye bye.